Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of our top 5 features of .NET 10 series. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, I highly recommend watching it first. You can click here to watch the part 1, or you can find the link in description as well. In part 1, we have explored the runtime and performance improvement introduced in .NET 10. We also look at the new async zip APIs and we saw how they work. Now in part 2, we are going to cover these 3 exciting features. If you are enjoying the .NET 10 series and finding it helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. So without wasting any more time, let's jump into our third feature, that is C# 14 language update. The first update is user-defined compound assignment operator. Before we understand this feature, let's quickly recall what compound assignment operator are. Some common compound assignment operator are plus equal to, minus equal to, multiply equal to, divide equal to, and percentage equal to. Before C# 14, whenever you wrote something like this, a plus equal to b, the compiler treated it like a is equal to a plus b. This means the plus operator was invoked, and in many cases, a new object was created and assigned back to the a. The proposed C# 14 enhancement allow developer to define custom behavior for compound assignment operator, so that the existing object can be modified directly instead of creating new object. This can improve performance and make certain types much more efficient. One important thing to note here is this feature is still proposal. It has been discussed as a proposed C# 14 features, but it hasn't been implemented yet. Because of that, we cannot demonstrate it practically at the moment. Now let's move on to next C# 14 update, extension block for static extension members. Most of you have probably written extension methods before. This new feature built on that concept, but it makes extension member much more organized and powerful. Instead of explaining it only theory, let's open Visual Studio and see how it's worked in a practical example. So this is the console application created using .NET 10. Now add one class called string extension. Remove unused import and make the class as a static class. Now add extension. This keyword is introduced in .NET 10. Using this we can group the all extension of similar type. I am going to add extension on string. So adding one parameter here of type string. Now here we can add multiple extension. Let's add one more to check if string is palindrome or not. So add public bool is palindrome and return the comparison result of str data and reverse of it. If it's match, that means string is palindrome and it will return true. Now add one more extension to count the word in the given string. So public int word count. It returns the count after splitting the string using space. That's it. Now go to the program.cs, add a program class, and then add main method. Declare one string variable with name str and assign some value. I am assigning welcome to the channel. You can add anything here. So now let's call the extension method. So str dot is palindrome. Let me print this in console. Console dot write line bracket and closing bracket. Same for word count. str dot word count. Yes. Also add console dot readline to keep the console open. Save this. So what we have done here is declare one string variable and call the extension methods. Fine. Now let's run the code. We got false and 4 in the result. The string is not palindrome, so we got false. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4 words, so we got 4. So here we have extended the instance of type, meaning we have created instance of string type and added extension on it. This was possible earlier as well in .NET 9 or below. What has been introduced in .NET 10 is provision to add extension on static member, meaning you can extend the type itself. Let's do it practically. Add one new class called datetime extensions. Remove unused imports, make a class as a static, add extension block and add static members on which you want to add extensions. Inside this block, let's add one extension to get tomorrow's date. So add public static datetime and extension name, which is get tomorrow. Inside the method, return the date time by adding one more day in it. Perfect. This will add one more day in current date. That's it, great. Now let's add one more extension to get yesterday's date. Here we go. Copilot added that for me. By the way, are you using Copilot in your tools? If no, then please watch this video. You will get more understanding and use cases of Copilot for your day-to-day programming. Okay, let me summarize this. So we have added two extension methods. Both are static methods and returning date time. And to get yesterday's date, we just minus one day in a current date time, like this. Now save this and go to the program.cs. Add console.writeLine and add first extension, that is datetime.getTomorrow. Do the same for yesterday. Datetime.getYesterday. Also move this read line at the last. Perfect. Now save this and run the program. Here we go. First two are the previous result, which is false and 4. Today is the 12th of July, so we got 13 as a tomorrow's date and 11th as a yesterday's date. Hope you understand these important features. This is only available in .NET 10 and greater version. Please try this in your code and let me know in comment if you face any issue. Okay, so let's move on to next feature. Fieldback properties. What is mean by fieldback? You all guys have used this while implementing encapsulation by creating private fields and exposing that with the public getter and setter method. So now in .NET 10, you not need to add that backing field. Compiler is creating that automatically. Let's understand this with practical. So this is the .NET 10 version console application. Now add one class in this project called employee. Okay. Remove this unused using, make it as a public class. All these things are not necessary. I'm having this habit, so I'm just doing it. Now let's move on. Now here add one property called name. This is what we are normally doing. But what if we want to set value based on validations? In that case, we are adding one private backing field like this. And here in this set method, we are first checking the value is empty or not. And then accordingly, we are assigning to backing field. Assign some initial value to remove this warning. Okay, great. So we were doing this earlier before .NET 10. Now in .NET 10, this is no more required. Instead of backing field, you can use hidden backing field, which is created by compiler. And that backing field is called field. So you can return the field and you can assign value to that field itself. Even this is also not required. So here get will return the value from field. And in set, you can assign the value to field based on your validation. Hope you understand these features. Now let's move on to next feature. ASP.NET Core and Blazor updates. Blazor script as a static web assets. Blazor script can now handle like static web assets like JavaScript, CSS, image, font. Before .NET 10, we were manually adding script like this. But in .NET 10, scripts are automatically exposed by framework. Let's see that in action. This is a Blazor app project created using .NET 10. You can create the same at your end. This project is having component folder in which there are layouts and pages. Here are some common resources as well. This is app setting file. This file is not having much information. Let's close this. We are not going to understand the project structure and resources. We are just going to see Blazor scripts. Let's run the project. Here we go. Here we can see some functionality which is part of project template. Let's ignore this and open the developer tool from browser using F12. Now go to the network tab and apply some filter Here filter is already applied. Just do normal find here using Ctrl and F and filter with JS. Okay, now refresh the page. Here you can see blazor.web.js, which is there in application folder. If you go to the resources, then also you can see it. Here it is. I hope you got this. Next is passkey authentication support. What are passkeys? Those are biometric, which is called fingerprint, face recognition, device pin. And authentication to work with passkey is simple. User tries to log in, then device verification happens, then cryptographic authentication happens. We are not going into deep in this feature, but if you guys want me to do this, please let me know in comment section. Next is improve identity observability and metrics. What is mean by observability? That means monitoring authentication and authorization activities, such as login attempts, file authentications, token validations, authentication checks, sign-in success rates. All these are monitoring via logging only. Hope you got this point. Next is better API responses 401, 403 instead of redirect. You must be wondering, those statuses codes are existing one, then why those are here in .NET 10 features? And yes, you are right, those are not new. In .NET 10, behavior fixes are done, not a status code. Before .NET 10, when user authentication failed or user is unauthorized, then user redirected to the login page. Now in .NET 10, API is returning 401 unauthorized if authentication fails, and 403 forbidden if user lacks permissions. So this behavior has been fixed in .NET 10. Hope you understand it. Last but not least, container and project simplification. This is important in terms of application publishing. Run C# file directly. What does this mean by directly? Here directly means without project, like JS file. We can execute JS file directly using command like node then filename.js. Similarly, we can execute C# files directly using .NET command like .NET run and then filename.cs. Let's understand this practically. Open the notepad or notepad++, anyone which you have, and write some code. You can write anything. To demonstrate, I will just print some text. To print the text, I will need to add console.writeLine and then some text. Text like welcome to the channel. Sweet and simple. Add semicolon at the end and save this file in your system. You can give any name. Important is extension. It should be .cs. As this is .NET, we are having files with .cs extensions. Fine. Now minimize this and open the console. Let's open console from here, so we not need to enter the current path. So click here where folder path is showing. Now enter cmd and press enter. Perfect. Here you can see the command path is current folder where we have saved our .cs file. Now run that file using .NET run command. So add .NET run and file name, which is app.cs, and press enter. Something is happening. Here we go. Code has been executed and we can see the text welcome to the channel, which we have written in the CS file. Hope you understand this feature and you must try this at your end. Next is faster cloud native workflow. What does this mean in short? This means less setup and faster deployment to cloud. Before .NET 10, to publish the application, we will need to create Docker file, then configure it manually, then build Docker image manually. Now in .NET 10, all these things are not required. .NET 10 introduced built-in container for publishing using .NET command, which is not required Docker file. Using .NET publish-t:/publish container, we can easily create the container image. Let's understand this with practically. So this is the one web application created using .NET 10. This project is having one controller, which is weather forecast, and here is the get method with name called get weather forecast. This method is returning random temperature of 5 weathers. These codes are part of the web application template. If you create at your end, then you will get the same structure. Here are the profiles HTTP, HTTPS, WSL, and IIS Express. Settings of this profile are present in launch setting.json file. Here you can see only two profiles. Those are HTTP and HTTPS. These are the most used profile. That is why those are part of this template. Now run the application with HTTPS profiles. As you can see here, application URLs of HTTPS profiles are HTTPS localhost then 7036 and localhost 5210. Now open the browser and go to the localhost 7036 site. The controller name is weather forecast, so we need to add that as well to call the get API. Here is the response. Let me pretty print this. Now let's stop this and let's publish the application on Docker with minimum setup. To do that, we are required Docker desktop. I already installed it in my laptop. You can do that by pausing this video. Just go to the browser and search for Docker desktop. I hope you install it. Before publishing, make sure Docker desktop is in engine running mode. Now come into the Visual Studio. Open the developer PowerShell and run .NET publish/t:/publish container. It will take some time. I am fast forwarding this video due to time concern. Meanwhile, let's see that the image is created or not. Here we go. Image has been created with name web application 1. Web application 1 is our application name. Great. Let's go to the Visual Studio. You can see the images here as well using docker images command. And here is the list. Now let's publish the application on 8080 port using docker run -p 8080:8080 then web application 1. Perfect. The application is published on 8080 port. Let me run the application on browser. http://localhost:8080/swagger. No, we haven't configured the Swagger, so it will not work. Instead of Swagger, enter controller name, that is weather forecast. Here we go. We got the response. So here in Docker, we have deployed the application using built-in .NET publish command, and of course without Docker file. Earlier in .NET 9 or lower version, Docker file was required. Hope you understand this feature. Alright, great. We have done with the top 5 features of .NET 10. If you want me to cover any other features, do let me know in comment. I hope you understand everything. Please do watch again if any of feature is not clear to you. And also please do subscribe to the channel. It will motivate me to create more such videos. Thank you for watching. See you in next video. Bye bye.